This is Kiss, my date for the prom.
Cool. Woo! Yeah, really.
Calm down. All right. So, Kate, which one's your date?
All of them.
What?
Okay. Why don't you boys come in and have a seat?
Kiss doesn't sit.
Yeah, Mom. Don't be stupid. These are like the gods of rock. You should be like down on our knees.
Yeah. Why don't you show a little respect for your mother?
Sure. Whatever you say.
Now get lost.
You got it. Just got strangled by Kiss.
Aren't they adorable? Don't we make a cute couple?
Cute couple of what is the question?
Oh, stop it. They are too cute. Look at you. You look like a little kitty.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I think it's about time I played the father here.
Dad, don't start. You're gonna ruin everything.
Katie,
No,
Katie. I know you don't think I'm a very hep dad, but I know who Kiss is, and I know what Kiss is all about. And I'm still a dad, and I've got some dad questions to ask. So, Kiss, what do you think you have to offer my little girl? That is final. Pipe down, Katie. Pipe down. Pipe down right now. Now, I know my daughter is not exactly a virgin.
So, hello everyone, and welcome to the Fowl Original, me Fowl Original. It's really loud. Hello everyone, and I figured I would oh, there we go. This is authorize some things. Congratulations. And then maybe, oh, there we go. I got the chat working in there. Chat working in there. I think almost got all of it working. Anyway, let's talk about this. Hello everyone, and welcome to another Fowl Original with me, Fowl Original. Ain't no man crazy about a sharp dressed man. Oh. Thank you to everyone who has joined for the weekend on the Fowl Originals acoustic, which I just did. Acoustic guitar. Playing a little bit of the old guitar. I thought I'd try it because this thing happened, and I thought Fowl Originals Newsround needs that. You may hear a lot of breeze coming in at this point as well. I do apologise. The breeze, Tyler breeze. The breeze is basically because it is like crazy. Everything is going like it is just. Let me see if I can close this chat app. Open it up again. Yeah, it's just like the end of the world outside because of Storm Alley, or Storm Alley. Then we're getting like. We're getting rammed over here. We're getting bashed in the face, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, Kiss announced final tour in 2018. What? Kiss? Now, I read about this, and I was all like, they always announce an end of the, and this is called an end of the road. So let's take it to Twitter's where I first got it from, because I was like, what? It's 5 hours ago, and Kiss announced End of the Road World Tour. After over 4 decades of music, the band announced their End of the Road farewell tour on NBC's America's Got Talent. Dates of the tour have yet to be revealed. So it doesn't really say it's the last one, it's the end of the road. It doesn't mean they can't rock some more crazy, 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 crazy nights. As you can see, sun's out, tongue's out. There's no better way to open the biggest show of the season than when Kiss Online. They're actually called Kiss Online. Oh, that's amazing. And Greg said, if you were just watching AGT, America's Got Talent, you heard it first. Kiss will begin their end of the road farewell tour. Hashtag mixed emotions. Hashtag 2019 is going to rock. Hashtag Kiss. Horns, guitar, at Gene Simmons, at Paul Stanley Live. Paul Stanley Live, at Kiss Online. Just watch Kiss Online crush the stage. And they announced they are reaching the end of the road. So many emotions here. Kiss are the greatest American band of all time. And let's just have a look at their at their video for the End of the Road World Tour. I'll give you some audio there. Let's see if we can get it open. Can we open your? Just play, damn it. How do I? I've just been scuppered by technology. Let's just go to Kiss Online. So go to Kiss Online and enter the site. I don't have enough money to buy Kiss tickets, but let's just have a look. Wow, there's the Kiss Army. Look at that. Look, let's just see how it's. Look at that website. That's an amazing website. You know, it's another amazing website. Yeah. You know what's another amazing website that you may or may not know of? Yeah, a website that people go to when you're alone and you're feeling good blues. Go to felloriginal.com. You can go and support the channel here. Become a Patreon or Streamlabs.com. You could do the most popular thing, hit PayPal donation and give it a think. You can give me roughly $5 or more. Even if you wanted to go 50, you can make it a one-off for, and then you can tell me your name through here. I am Fowl. Hello, here's $50. $50. Or you could make it a monthly donation. You will be helping me get satisfaction and recreation. And I don't really know much more I can go with that. But that's a website that if you didn't know about, yeah, our website. You can go there, felloriginal.com. And for all of the hundreds and hundreds that watch me every night, if you all shipped in $1, yeah, I could have like $1. I need $1. Dollar is all I need. Anyway, let's go back to the Kiss website. Sorry, Peter Frem. No, sorry, Peter Frampton. Sorry, Pete. Sorry, Gene. Anyway, if you go there, this ship is full. Kiss are doing a cruise as well. Decades at sea. Well, Kiss do the cruise. No wonder Jericho wanted to do the cruise. You can see end of the road. Kiss is rocking Rock City on AGT and destroying America's Got Talent finale. And they announced their World Tour, our biggest show yet. Kiss announced tonight their End of the Road World Tour. It's on Variety.com, which obviously enough will be their last. While the group stopped short of announcing dates, the title suggests the tour will be on the scale of Elton John's 3-year farewell campaign, which launched earlier this month. All that we have built, all that we have built and all that we have conquered over the past 4 years could never have happened without the millions of people worldwide who filled clubs, arenas, and stadiums over those years, the band said in a statement. This will be the ultimate celebration for those who've seen us and a last chance for those who haven't. Kiss Army, we're saying goodbye on our final tour with our biggest show yet. And we'll go out the same way we came in. Choked there a little bit. Unapologetic and unstoppable. The group made the announcement on NBC's America's Got Talent and also performed their 1976 hit Detroit Rocks It. We built this city. Fans will remember that Kiss' original lineup did a farewell tour nearly 20 years ago. 20 years ago, which was the last to feature drummer Peter Criss. Guitarist Ace Frehley has since left the band as well, leaving Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, always the band's leaders, with drummer Eric Singer and guitarist Tommy Taher, all of whom perform in original Kiss makeup. Kiss made their reputation as a live act in the mid-1970s, with the most over-the-top presentation rock concerts that had seen to date. Intensifying and exaggerating the fantasy and horror movie elements Alice Cooper had introduced a few years earlier. Everything about Kiss was larger than life, wild makeup and costumes, fireworks, hydraulic platforms, the blood-spitting demon, Simmons, and perhaps most of all, the marketing campaigns, which led many in the rock intelligentsia to write off their music. But that intelligentsia contained few teenage boys, and elements of Kiss can be seen in nearly every over-the-top rock band that followed. Kiss and Howie Mandel. Oh! End of the Road World Tour. And so, as you can see, they, like the Puma Paul Stanley. Oh, hello. So that's the end of Kiss. Now, Kiss have been a band, and let's see if we can find another less biased article about all of this from the Kiss website. But I figured let's type in Kiss to BBC News, and that is just the BBC artist page for. Let's just type in Kiss, and this is from NME. Like we got Metro, we got the Metro saying it, but they've, as you can see, it's the end of the road for Kiss, and in 2019 they will end. So did they announce their final tour today? We don't know. We just don't know. But what we do know is these are crazy, 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 crazy nights. Oh. So crazy, 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 crazy nights. In other news, in other news tonight, we've got a whole heap of stuff to talk about. I wanted to quickly and briefly, as you can see from the title, talk about this story, which is a pretty big story, and I'm going to go to the Hollywood Reporter. Not being racist, yeah, let's go to the Hollywood Reporter. So this is a story which probably would have made a bigger story for me if I'd had a chance to really look into it. But and I mean, I didn't really even know this was happening. But first of all, I was laughing. Obviously, the name's pretty funny, and I didn't understand: is this a fan? Is this a person? Is this some kind of, is this Fowl Original? FowlOriginal.com. No, this is an actress called Fan Bingbing. Okay, it's a funny name, yes, to us, but it's a very serious story. Now, this is from the Hollywood Reporter. Fan Bingbing scandal widens as famed director is cut from high-profile film. The removal of a cameo featuring legendary filmmaker Feng Xiaogang from Cannes favourite Ash is the Purest White has lit up Chinese social media and spurred speculation that he could be the next brought low by the controversy. The swirling tax evasion scandal that has engulfed the Chinese film industry, forcing the disappearance of A-list star Fan Bingbing, may just have dented the reputation of another major figure, veteran director Feng Xiaogang. China's entertainment trade press was awash Monday with the news that a high-profile cameo by Feng in art house star Jia Zhangke's latest film Ash is the Purest White was cut. Ash is the Purest White, a decade-spanning crime melodrama, premiered at the Cannes Film Festival in May, where Fan Bingbing, in one of her last major public appearances, walked the red carpet in support of the film. Feng, one of China's most esteemed directors and an occasional character actor, also made a brief but eye-catching appearance in the film as a doctor. But during the China premiere of the film in Beijing on Sunday, Feng's scene was conspicuously missing from a newly cut version, and Fan was nowhere to be seen at the event in her customary haute couture. Chinese social media instantly lit up with speculation that Jia's hand had been forced by China's Film Bureau, the assumption being that Feng's removal was necessary for the film to gain approval for its wide release on Friday. Altogether, Jia is said to have trimmed approximately 6 minutes from the original version that screened in Cannes. Although the cuts of Feng have caught attention, it's not particularly uncommon for auteurs to rework festival films prior to their commercial opening, given that they often have to edit in a rush to meet the early submission deadline for events like Cannes. Still, Feng's removal is conspicuous given his extreme fame and fan appeal in China. At Cannes, for example, he appeared on the poster for Ash is the Purest White, as though he had a major role rather than just a cameo. The two filmmakers are also known to be allies. Feng's latest hit as a director, Youth, opened an indie film festival founded by Jia in rural China last year. Fan also served as the event's official star ambassador. When asked directly at a press conference on Sunday about the excision of Feng from Ash is the Purest White, Jia was cryptic, if not evasive. When I was writing this script, I kept coming back to one line. It's hard to explain in a few words, and it arouses complex feelings. This is the feeling I was going for in the film, and this is how I am feeling right now. He then moved on without further elaboration. Ash is the Purest White traces the tortured romance of young rural woman, played by Jia's wife and Muse, his flame, Xiao Tuo, and a low-level gangster, Liao Fan. During 18 years of dizzying change and development in China, like much of the work that has made Jia an international art house star, the film has been noted for its nuance and contemplative tone. Fan and Feng have been linked at the heart of China's tax evasion scandal since it exploded into public view in late May, when former state television anchor Hui Yuanguan posted documents to social media that appeared to be two acting contracts for the upcoming film Cell Phone 2, the sequel to a hit Feng film starring Fan from 2003. The materials were said to lay bare the common but thoroughly illegal practice of yin-yang contracting, whereby production companies provide actors with two sets of pay contracts, one small one to submit to the tax authorities, and a second revealing the star's much larger real paycheck. Although the names were redacted, the leaked docs purportedly showed that Fan was claiming $1.56 million, or 10 million Chinese money, for 4 days of work on Cell Phone 2, and her true pay actually totaled an additional $7.8 million. The revelations and social media frenzy that prompted China's State Administration of Taxation to announce a broad inquiry into the entertainment industry, followed by an ominous warning: if violations of tax laws and regulations are found, they will be handled in strict accordance with the law. Oh my. The stock of leading Chinese film. So this is, I'm going to finish the article. The stock of leading Chinese film studio Fowl Brothers Media, which produced Cell Phone and was backing its planned sequel, promptly plummeted. Its shares have yet to fully recover, perhaps non-coincidentally, given the apparent preemptive removal of Feng. Fowl Brothers are also the lead distributor of Ash is the Purest Right. Representatives for fans strongly denied any wrongdoing, but she soon stopped posting on social media platform Weibo, where she has over 60 million followers, and she hasn't been seen in public since. Her disappearance has sparked wild rumours, ranging from claims that she's been imprisoned or is under house arrest somewhere in China, and even one media report claiming she was spotted in Los Angeles seeking asylum in the United States. This is something that was spoke about, and I remember hearing about this actually. Many of fans, however, believe she was simply an unlucky victim, felled in the crossfire between Kui and his true target, Feng. For over a decade, Hui has accused Feng and Hual brothers of slander, claiming that the plot of Cell Phone was loosely based on his life but took liberties that damaged his reputation. The film follows the travails of a prominent television anchor who carries on an extramarital affair with his assistant, played by Fan. It won numerous awards in China and became a commercial sensation. The sequel, naturally, is now in doubt. This is a really big story for many, 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 many reasons. Here in the UK and in the US, you are able to totally be this whole deal, Metro moments, like cookies, like this is not going to happen in China. Fortune says you are looking in the wrong place. The fortune cookie would say you go to jail, because some of the things that I may have said may have not been allowed to be said in China, potentially in a maybe a dramatic fictional way. And it's really interesting to see that there are people out there in China that for making a film are being disappeared. Yes, the real core discussion here is that it's about tax evasion, but it also shows how far the Chinese government will go to stop people talking about certain things. Now, I mean, the cameo thing is a big deal. It was obviously cut because it had some kind of bearing on China, and, you know, it would continue the conversation. And China are more about just pushing something to the side to stop the discussion as best as possible. And that would have, if that film had continually gone around the world with that cameo, and then, you know, Jia goes on to many talk shows and speaks about it, and people ask him the question, what do you think about this? This is gone now. That's all gone. And it is like a kind of a, we still control you, even though we're allowing you to release this media, we still control you. And at the festival, it's fine, it's miles away, but here, no. Fan though, I feel like she has been disappeared. There were reports that she turned up in Los Angeles and tried to claim asylum, but I mean, we would have heard of that by now. Chinese government could potentially be quite far-reaching, and I mean, I don't say it with a smile on my face. I say it with sadness in my heart, but I think that lady has probably been disappeared. I mean, you're probably never going to see her again. And that's something that happens in certain states. I mean, with the internet, and I've thought with the internet it wouldn't be possible. Wouldn't be possible, but I guess it still is. And it's really sad. It's really sad. And that's why I wanted to bring it to you guys, because I felt like that piece of news especially was something that is not really top of the news of anywhere. Like that isn't your big news story. Your big news story is stuff like, and I mean, I'll talk about them later, but your big news story is, over here in the UK anyway, is about Brexit's plan not working, and it's the continual infighting. And I want to just open it up. It's the continual infighting of political parties here in the UK, infighting within the party in power. Donald Tusk, Theresa May's Brexit trade plan won't work. UK checkers Brexit plan won't work. Theresa May's proposed new economic partnership with the EU will not work, the head of the European Council has said. Donald Tusk said the plans risk undermining the EU single market. She held frank talks with Mr. Tusk and said that the proposals were the only serious, credible way to avoid a hard border in Northern Ireland. And the UK is due to leave, as we know, on the 29th of March. Both sides are trying to reach a deal in time. There's no agreements on side, including how to avoid new checks on the Northern Ireland Republic of Ireland border. Because remember, Republic of Ireland is part of Europe, and Northern Ireland is still part of the UK. So technically speaking, that would change a lot of things. A lot of things. And I mean, for a place which is already starting to heal, like mend fences and heal, it's not a good thing to just have a straight up border between those two countries. At a press conference, Mr. Tusk said there were positive elements in the UK's blueprint for future relations with the EU, but which was agreed by ministers at Chequers in July. But he added the suggested framework for economic cooperation will not work. Mr. Tusk added that October would be the moment of truth for reaching a new deal, and that if the conditions are there, an additional summit would be held in November to formalise it. Yeah, it's really, really... It's just the same news, though, yeah. It's just, as I said, it's just the same news. It's that Brexit isn't working, that we now have to deal potentially with just floating away from Europe, and it's going to be, we're going to have a hard Brexit, I know that, and I mean, there shouldn't be soft and hard Brexit, because I'm semi for it, yeah, like, I'm semi for it, but I really am not, I would not like to leave, and I'd love there to, in like some time, once a generation of voters actually grow up and realise that, damn, we should have tried to vote at least, that if they do, if a swathe of younger voters just appear on the horizon after 2 years and then go, no Brexit, it's too late, it's too late, it's too late. You've already pulled out the bathtub. You've already pulled out the plug, the butt plug from the bath. It's a family show. It's a family show. Now, let's go to another story, which, I mean, these aren't supposed to be funny stories, but they just kind of, it's when you look at the news, like I've now been doing Newsround for like a month and a half, and sometimes you see you see stories and you're like, ha, the Metro is great for that, but sometimes you see stories that are just like, it's the same news, it's just been reported, it's like a little extra snippet every day, and I don't want to be doing that, but this is top of the news. So Westminster inquest, an inquest going into the Westminster attacker. Khalid Masood sent kissing emoji before attack. The inquest was shown CCTV images of Khalid Masood in the days before the Westminster attack. The widow of Westminster attacker Khalid Masood has said he was evil, and she described his violent outburst while on steroids to an inquest. Masood, 52, stabbed PC Keith Palmer to death outside Parliament after running down 4 pedestrians in his car. The inquest into the death of PC Palmer, 48, Kurt Cochran, 54, Leslie Rhodes, 75, Aisha Frade, 44, and Andrea Christie, 31, is taking place at the Old Bailey in London. An inquest into the death of Masood, who was shot dead by armed officers during the attack on 22nd of March 2017, will take place afterwards. And those are the people that we unfortunately lost. It's very, very sad. It's very, very sad. And that was a terrorist attack. That I think it's not even... a recording made by Ms. Haidara while Masood was using steroids was played in court, in which he said the Islamic State group was not the enemy. She said she contacted police when she realised Masood had been involved in the Westminster attack and rejected a claim from Gareth Patterson QC, the barrister for the victims' families, that she had been aware he had been going down a particularly dangerous path. The night before the attack, the couple spoke online, and she said Masood appeared emotional, Ms. Hydra said. The next day, Masood sent his wife and children 2 texts, including one featuring an emoji blowing a kiss, the inquest heard. Ms. Hadara said she had been sent a document by text shortly before the attack titled Jihad, in which he had said, please forgive me. Along with Masood's mother, Janet Ajayo, Miss Hydra, was refused anonymity by a coroner at the inquest, but was allowed to give evidence out of sight of the public and media. Earlier, Ms. Ajao said the inquest told the inquest she only found out about her son's actress on the TV news, but then it all made sense. When she last saw him days before the attack, he just looked at her and said, "They'll say I'm a terrorist, but I'm not." She said at the time she had no idea what he was referring to. And like all the most read, and I just want to show you, like it's Storm Brotner bringing floods and strong winds. And I want to just go about that on Croydon cat killer mystery solved by police, which we're going to talk about. And Chris, and like, you know, it's most read Maryland shooting woman kills 3, turns gun on herself. I mean, I just want to quickly talk about these because obviously these are in the news, yeah. But these aren't the fun things that you could do. You could go to fowloriginal.com and you could do that. That's fun. And then you go to support the channel, and then you can go to donate, and then it will bring you up to PayPal, and then you could do a nice thing, yeah. Do a cool thing, go there, give me that money. Hello, I'm giving you $6. I'm giving you $6. I'm giving you $60. I'm making a monthly donation. That ad break was brought to you by Shilling. Shilling. The thing all the cool kids are doing. Shill. Like, share, subscribe, show it to your friends. Shilling. Anyway. Storm Brona, 32 minutes ago. That's what all the noise is when you can hear, like, you can hear it. Storm Brona brings floods and strong winds. Parts of the UK have been experiencing heavy rain, flooding and strong winds with gusts of 61 miles per hour. It's bloody windy out there. Storm Brona is moving eastwards across Wales and England, with 56.4 millimetres of rain being recorded already in Powys. Flooding has been reported in northern England, and there are at least 30 flood alerts across the UK and 4 warnings. A yellow weather warning for wind is in force until 9 AM on Friday, and some homes still have no power after it was cut off during Storm Ali. 2 people died when Storm Ali swept across the British Isles on Wednesday. So far, the strongest gust has been recorded at Mumble's Head in Wales. Winds of up to 70 miles per hour could follow, with the strongest winds likely to hit the coast of northeast England in the early hours of Friday morning. Pictures posted on social media have showed vehicles with floodwater up to their bumpers on a road between Sheffield and Rotherham. One video showed a man rescuing an elderly woman from a car that was surrounded by floodwater in Tinsley. East Midlands Trains said there had been severe flooding in Sheffield Station and warned customers to take extra care. Trains were running at a reduced speed, it added. The yellow warning for wind means there is a possibility of damage to buildings, falling trees and branches, and a possible danger to life in parts of England and Wales. Met forecaster Simon Partridge said it would be the first time this season that South East England would experience strong winds. The first storm to reach an area each year usually has some fairly significant impacts because all the things you didn't realise were diseased or rusted or whatever, that's the first time you know about it when the first winds arrive. Morning rush hour on Friday. You may need to plan around your journey on Friday morning. I'm so lucky I'm on the late tomorrow. Yeah. Highways England warned that high winds pose a risk to lorry, caravan and motorbike travellers. Storm Ali, the UK's first named storm of the season, battered the British Isles on Wednesday with winds of up to 100 miles per hour. A woman died after the caravan she was in was blown off a cliff in County Galway in the Irish Republic. A man in his 20s was killed, and another in his 40s was injured after a tree fell on them at the gates of Slieve Gwylion Forest Park near Newry, County Armagh. Travel disruption in Scotland and Northern Ireland caused by the storm persisted into Thursday, and thousands of homes were without power. One person was injured after being blown over by high winds outside the new V&A Dundee Museum, Victoria and Albert, which was later closed. A pupil at Trinity Primary School in Edinburgh was injured after being hit by a branch in the playground. Taken to hospital, but his injuries are not life-threatening. 500 cruise passengers and crew were stranded in Greenock after severe weather broke their ship's mooring lines. Tugs were called in to assist the Nautica. Naughty, naughty, Nautica tugs. That's that story. And I mean, that's kind of the biggest story in the news at the moment. I wanted to talk about this as well, very, very briefly, before we slip into one of our favourite segments, which is this. Yeah, this story is kind of a good story. From the BBC.co.uk. Croydon cat killer mystery solved by police. What mystery? The cat killer was thought to have been behind the death of Missy, who went missing in Colston in December 2015. The so-called Croydon cat killer does not exist, the Metropolitan Police has confirmed. The force launched an this is why I kind of facepalm a little bit, but yes. The force launched an investigation in 2015 into reports of mutilated cats in Croydon and the surrounding areas. 25 post-mortem examinations were carried out but found no evidence of human involvement. Scotland Yard said injuries inflicted on cats were likely to be the result of predation or scavenging by wildlife on cats killed in vehicle collisions. Foxes are believed to be behind some of the mutilations. Foxes? During the probe, detectives received more than 400 similar reports of cats being mutilated across London and surrounding countries. However, all of the cases will now be recorded as no crime. Commander Amanda Pearson said each individual report had to be investigated, which led to an increased workload for officers working on the case. Yeah, just yeah. Who was reporting that the cats were being murdered? Yeah. How many? What a letter writing campaign had to exist for this to happen? What an absolute waste of police time. Yeah. Straight editorial. What an absolute waste of police time. So an investigation started in 2015. Yeah, it's now almost like, with wasted police usage to find out that it was no crime. The investigation was that it was no crime, and that the answer was that it was probably foxes. What an absolute waste of time. Yeah, very angered by this story in just that sense. Happy there's no cat killer, but what a waste of time. Anyway. In particular, they were following up 6 suspicious cases identified by the post-mortem examinations. It is this collating of reports that enabled officers to work with experts and reach a conclusion that no further police investigations are required into any of the allegations relating to mutilated cats. The Met inquiry found there was CCTV footage showing foxes carrying pet body parts in 3 cases. Dr. Henry Martineau, head of veterinary forensic pathology at the Royal Veterinary College, carried out post-mortems on the 6 cats whose deaths were initially treated as suspicious. She found puncture wounds not previously uncovered on some of the animals and concluded some had been potentially scavenged. And, I mean, that's the end of the story, really, is that at one point during the 3-year investigation, a £10,000 reward was offered for information into the conviction of those responsible for mutilations in Greater London, Surrey, Kent, Manchester, Birmingham, St Albans and Northamptonshire. What an absolute waste of police time. What absolute... One cat owner, Naomi, spoke to the BBC about finding her cat Ivy's decapitated body discarded by the side of a road in North Hampshire. I was very emotional. I couldn't stop crying, she said. Although she searched for Ivy's head, she wasn't able to find it. That is a cute old bloody, it's a cute old goddamn kitty. It's a cute kitty. Naomi had to take 3 weeks off work with depression and anxiety and said she struggled with nightmares and interrupted sleep. Ivy's death had caused so much pain and a feeling of anger, she added. The Met urged people to report cases where there is no direct evidence of human involvement to the RSPCA. And that's where I wanted to leave it, yeah. Just there. I have no problem with cats. I have no problem with dogs. Got no problem with kitties, yeah. You know what I do have a problem with is people wasting police time, because when you waste police time, you're wasting... What if there was someone that was actually killing people? If something happens involving cats, yeah, or something like that, you got 2 choices, yeah. I have to say that people that live next door adopted some cats, yeah. Really pretty cats, yeah. Beautiful cats. But you know what, yeah? That, we speak to the RSPCA. You don't call the police. This is not a call for 999. My cat's... Oh, not my glasses apart there. My cat's been injured. This is not that time, yeah. This is not that. It's very annoying. That's what it is. It's a waste of police time. And I, of all people, yeah, don't... Well, if in one way, yeah, it's good because, you know, then they got time to catch me. But also, what an absolute waste of time. I have no problem with cats, but why didn't anyone just call the RSPCA? Why was it that the initial interpretation by the cat's owner was that this is not the wild that this has happened in, this is a person? That's quite stupid. Anyway, have a little moan about this. That's all from the news from there. Let's nip into, and I'm going to give you a double Metro moments because I got the Metro yesterday, yeah, and I was all ready, and then what happened was I just forgot. So let's switch into a Metro moments. We've got some great stories from the Metro, and I'm going to flick through them as fast as possible. So this is the Metro from Wednesday, September 12th. Hero cop failed by bungled security. You see that? Oh no. And also, Brits rule at the Emmys. Armed officers sent to patrol instead of manning gates. Stupid story. I mean, not stupid in like it's stupid. I mean, stupid in the sense that like that's what happens. As I said, wasting police time. Now, this was one of the stories, obviously, that you guys may have heard of, and I wanted to give you the Metro's interpretation of this because I remember seeing this and like so one of my colleagues, I said to him like, I do Newsround, and I was like, do you mind just like looking through the Metro just see if there's anything that spots your eyes. And he went around and he highlighted a few things. This thing he didn't highlight. I was like, why didn't you highlight this? Bam! Yeah. When you see a picture of Toad in the Metro next to a picture of Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump here. Look, there's a picture of Toad, and I was like, what? What is this? So this is the mushroom penis jump, So, porn star Stormy. Sex with Trump was the worst ever. This is the worst sex ever. Stormy Daniels claims sex with Donald Trump was the worst she had ever had, and has given a graphic description of his toadstool penis. The former porn star says the US president was her least impressive lover, but he didn't share that opinion. Ms. Daniels, who became a stripper while still in high school, classic. Probably her name. Classy ladies. I'm not making fun of her. People have their own decision. But she's writing in the Metro with a picture of Toad, so, you know, that's your decision. Makes her claims in a memoir, Full Disclosure. Much of the book, which is published next week, details how she came to receive £130,000 of hush money from Mr. Trump's former lawyer on the eve of the 2016 presidential election. I love that. I think it's amazing. Federal prosecutors are currently investigating the payment, and Michael Cohen, who arranged it, is cooperating with them under a plea deal. Great. Ms. Daniels, 39, says she slept with Mr. Trump, 72, during a celebrity golf tournament in California in 2006. The president denies the encounter took place. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. You've heard. In the book, she says he has an unusual penis. That is, like a toadstool. Like the mushroom character in Mario Kart. Like, that's her actual words, yeah, in the book. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. She adds, it may have been the least impressive sex I'd ever had, but clearly he didn't share the same opinion. She also recounts a moment in 2006 when instead of having sex with Mr. Trump, they were watching Shark Week on TV when Hillary Clinton, then running against Barack Obama for the Democratic nomination, called to talk about race relations. Even while he was on the phone with Hillary, his attention kept going back to the sharks. She writes, Ms. Daniels claims she revealed the affair because she feared she was in danger of being Stormy Alleyed. Now, that is the funniest thing, yeah, I have ever read in the Metro. Like, that is not hyperbole. That is the funniest thing ever. This is the funniest story that I've seen on page 4, like, ever, because it combines two things, yeah. Metros on the bus, yeah. So like stories like this, the kids are gonna just go past them, yeah. They'll be like, I don't care. This story is like, oh, what's Toadstool do? Donald Trump has a toad penis. I love it. Now beneath it though is a story which is very, very interesting, which is BBC boss Hall admits we need to find more money. Lord Tony Hall has said the BBC's spending is unsustainable. The Director General said there is a threat to the corporation and admitted we need to find more money. Speaking at the Royal Television Society conference, he said competitors such as Netflix do not face the challenges we face, citing licence fee cuts and the loss of BBC Three. Lord Hall called for a debate on funding and said more staff would be moved out of London, which is a really sad day because the BBC is London, and just, you know, I was in London this past weekend and I remember thinking, if it was here, I would have gone to it, the television centre. Now again, this is on Wednesday, but this story is about Asia Argento. Asia Argento sues McGowan over underage sex lies. Asia Argento is suing Rose McGowan over claims she had underage sex with a teenager were true. The actress, 42, was last month accused of sleeping with actor Jimmy Bennett when he was 17, claims she branded lies. Ms. McGowan, 45, spoke about the scandal, saying she was heartbroken. Last night, Argento said she was seeking damages from the ex-Charm star who had missed a deadline to retract her false statements. I mean, the Me Too movement is just falling into itself. Me Too. And Noel Edmonds brands Welby evil over H-Boss. Noel Edmonds has called the Archbishop of Canterbury evil for not meeting him and other victims of the £245 million loan scam at H-Boss. The presenter, 69, dubbed Justin Welby a hypocrite because the Church of England is an investor in H-Boss owner Lloyd Banking Group. Edmonds said Mr. Welby was the reincarnation of an ancient evil after the Archbishop used the phrase to describe 0 hours contracts. He said he won't meet any Lloyd's victims. Lambeth Palace has been contacted for comment. Like, wow. This is the story that... I'm going to got another story over here, but... Nah, it's not a fun story. We don't want to talk about that one. I cut it as I go. Cleaner stole £10,000 of valuables to sell on eBay. A cricket cleaner has been jailed for stealing valuables worth £10,000 from wealthy clients and selling them on eBay. And this is why this story is here. Jean Hillman, 50, pocketed items as she worked in her victims' homes. The haul included a gold pocket watch worth £1,000 and 2 pairs of Jimmy Choo shoes worth £1,200. Hillman of Acox Green, Birmingham, was sentenced to 2 years in prison at the city's Crown Court after she admitted 5 charges of theft. One victim, a former partner, was unaware Hillman had even taken his Royal Albert tea set until his daughter spotted it online. Wow. And this is the story that was given to me by my colleague at work. That's how he highlighted it for me. Why? I told you I had to highlight. Parents demand virginity check over secret romance. A couple marched their daughter to a doctor's surgery to demand a virginity check after finding out she had a secret boyfriend, a court was told. Mitra Aidani and Ali Safario also threatened to send Sophia, 18, back to Iran to marry a cousin, the jury heard. Aidani hit her daughter and Safario threatened her with a kitchen knife. It was claimed at Kingston Crown Court. The couple also allegedly visited the boyfriend, Bailey Marshall Telfer, at work to tell him they were dangerous because they were Muslim. Prosecutor David Povell said Sophia was called a prostitute. Her father threatened to kill both her and Bailey. College student Sophia's parents found out about her relationship after Bailey, also 18, visited her at the family home in Clapham, South London, last May. The court heard Aidani, 42, came back unexpectedly and he climbed out the bathroom window to hide. He was caught out when the mother saw his belongings, and she made him leave after breaking his headphones. When Safral, 56, got home, they took Sophia to the surgery, but the doctor refused to examine her, the court heard. The teenager said her mother bit her when they got home, adding, "My father came into the room armed with a big kitchen knife and said, 'You have to get checked.'" Safriel and Ardani denied 2 counts of controlling or coercive behaviour and one of them making a threat to kill. Aidani also denies causing actual bodily harm but has admitted causing criminal damage by breaking Bailey's headphones. That thing was very interesting to me, was the 2 counts of controlling or coercive behaviour. Didn't even know that was actually a crime, but I'm guessing that that's how you deal with honour killings and honour crimes within a community. I mean, I watched a documentary on BBC 3, which doesn't exist anymore, a long time ago, about a lady who was killed for having a boyfriend by her father after it became apparent that he was and that people had seen them, even after she broke up with him and was happy to go and get the marriage, you know, whatever marriage that he wanted her to get. It was really, really sad. This is another funny story. Brit expat is jailed for just witnessing brawl. A British, and this is like the Seinfeld law. A British expat who says she was only an onlooker when a fight broke out in a Dubai hotel has been jailed for 3 months. As Asa Hutchinson, 22, was with friends taking selfies with a Swedish man asleep on a hotel lobby sofa. The 54-year-old was awoken by a slap to the face and suffered a broken nose in an ensuing altercation in April 2016. Despite claiming to have only witnessed the fight, Hutchinson was charged with assault and theft. Her friends had returned to the UK and the charges were transferred to her. Harsh. She was back in Essex when sentenced in her absence at Dubai Criminal Court. And then another, like a really funny story here, because I can find it. This story made me laugh. Yeah, this one. Okay, this is where we'll end it for Metro from the other day. But British women locked up for beach prank. 2 British women claim they were locked in a blood-stained cell in Corfu for 2 nights after a harmless joke backfired. There are no harmless jokes here. Someone's going to take it the wrong way. I mean, look at me. Shona Cox and Vicky Olburn. Oh, they are 2 upstanding names right there, aren't they? Both 20 met a group of young men on the beach and later hid the clothes of one of them as he went for a swim. I mean, if that would happen to a woman, that wouldn't have been allowed, and it would have been like, oh my God. But no, the women are the victims in this case. They were falsely accused, I guess, of stealing his Rolex and taken to prison. Ms. Cox said it was terrifying, adding, actually, let's do it in an accent. It was terrifying. I mean, it sounds gruesome. There was urine all over the floor. The Foreign Office said our staff assisted 2 British women who were arrested and released. So at least they do something, you know, like you pay your taxes and you get the British Embassy to get you out of prison when you need to. Actually, let's see if there's anything else I quickly highlighted in here. I think that's it. So that's from the Metro the other day. Obviously, we've got to give you a quick Metro moment, but our quick commercial break to tell you that if you like the Metro moments and you want to keep me in copies of the Metro, which are very, very expensive over here. I mean, they're at least £1,000 a day for those of you that are not from the UK and don't know that. But go to fowloriginal.com. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you see this big old bird face and you can go support the channel. And if you support the channel, hit the donate button now. It'll take you to PayPal. And you can give me $10. Why not $10? Make it a one-off. My name's Fowl. And then you could go make it a monthly donation. $10 a month. If everyone who watches gave me $10 a month, I'd have $10 a month. Yes, I would. But to Metro moments for today, as I wanted to. This is the last show of the week. So we'll be potentially doing a show on Sunday for EGX afterwards, but you will get more information about that. And check out the Fowl Originals acoustic stuff. I sung songs tonight. Hope you enjoyed them. This is, first of all, the ads from Michael Palin in North Korea. Now, this is the story on the front page of the Metro today. And it's 2 of them. And this is very funny because this story to me is hilarity because, first of all, how modesty blazes a trail. Look at that. The Muslim fashion vlogger who is suddenly a very hot property. I mean, of course it's a hot property. Oh, it's raining pretty hardcore out there. Of course it's a hot property. I'm gonna have to close my window in a minute. It's getting ever so bad. Stomp runner. No. Please, Daddy. No, Daddy. Stop it. I'm not even going to read that story because it is an 8-year-old girl before she was stabbed to death by her father. And that's not what we want to see when we read the Metro, yeah. It's not what we want to see. I read this. This was a Metro that I read. So, this Metro of McDonald's windows. Shambles at every stage led to months of rail timetable chaos. The chaos that gripped the railways this year was caused by failures across the board and inquiry is found. Network Rail, Govia Thameslink, Railway, Northern, Department for Transport and the Office of Rail and Road all contributed to disruption that left tens of thousands of commuters stranded. The investigation showed. The hold-ups and cancellations followed the biggest timetable change in a generation. And it basically says 3-month inquiry. Why all this time wasted? 3 months spent. The findings come as Transport Secretary Chris Graining today launches a review of the railways. I mean, what are you going to do? They're not owned by the government no more. They're privatised. Conservative Party. I mean, there's not really anything you can spank them, but I mean, they can just stand up. And let's see if we've got any else. Got some McDonald's vouchers in here. If you'd like some McDonald's vouchers, get the Metro. And this is a very sad story, so I don't want to talk about it. Now, this though, interesting. Magazine loses appeal over topless Kate pics. France's Closer magazine has lost an appeal against a ruling that it breached the Duchess of Cambridgeshire's privacy by publishing topless photos of her. Appeal court judges in Versailles told the magazine it must pay £80,000 in damages to Kate and William, and the editor and publisher must stump up the maximum fine of £40,000. Two photographers who caught the royal on camera in 2012 will also have to pay £8,900 each. During the original hearing, the court heard William had found the intrusion all the more painful due to his mother's battle with the paparazzi. Now, this is a story that I didn't really cover, but we will do kind of closer to at some time. But it was a story that I kind of wanted to, but I just didn't really have the time to. But it's a story that Big Brother has been axed at the end of this season. End of next season. And that's it. It's done. All of this craziness and it's over. Channel 5 has announced 5 new dramas as it seeks to change direction after cutting Big Brother. Because Big Brother is just like the whole night, and it doesn't really attract people like me. No, it doesn't really attract people like me on the regs, but I mean, it's probably the ratings have been suffering, and you know the kind of things that they'll have to do next. It's also that celebrities know the game and they're kind of upping their game. And what happened with Roxanne Pallett was basically someone going, "I can game the system," but forgetting that when you're filmed 24/7, then you may get quiet. Boss Bob Backish said money saved from the reality show would go on original drama. Homegrown drama is the missing ingredient from Channel 5 schedule, so it's genuinely exciting to be able to unveil a range of new projects, said Ben Froh, director of programs. It will show crime thriller 15 Days plus revenge 4-parter Cold Call and has the rights to a series called Blood. Other dramas include Clink, set in a women's prison, and a feature-length mystery based on a 1920s murder. But I mean, the thing is by this point, Channel 5 is kind of... I mean, it's interesting, like the Michael Palin stuff. I mean, they are trying to cherry-pick things to make them better, but I mean, it's just... Channel 5 is Channel 5. And a lot of people still can't get Channel 5 on their normal TVs. So that is a problem. Now, this is a story that I don't want to talk about because it's just very, very distressing, but it's about a tirade of anti-Muslim abuse, then car plows into crowd. And there's a mosque hit and run. Actually, you know what? I am, because I feel like for fair and balanced, and a lot of people probably will talk about this, but not in the way that I feel that I might, as a potential brown myself. Like, I see a lot of discrimination. I learned the phrase BAME yesterday. I didn't even know what that meant. Black, Asian, and minority, ethnic minorities and minority, whatever, yeah. I'm a BAME, so shut up, man. But, like, I learned about that yesterday. I didn't even know that existed, yeah. So, I'm learning things all the time. Worshippers hit by a car in an apparent anti-Muslim attack are extremely fortunate to be alive, a police chief said. 3 people were hurt when the vehicle mowed down pedestrians outside a mosque in Cricklewood, northwest London, early yesterday. A man in his 50s in his hospital with a serious leg injury, and 2 men in their 20s were treated for minor injuries. Excuse me. Scotland Yard said people in the car allegedly shouted, "You dirty Muslims," before driving at a crowd leading a lecture at the Al-Majlis Al-Husseini Centre at 12:30 a.m. Witnesses said the Nissan's occupants, 3 men and a woman in their mid-20s, had just been told to leave a private car park where they had been drinking, taking drugs, and behaving antisocially. Metropolitan Chief Superintendent Simon Rose said the people who had challenged them then drove at members of the community in a car. The vehicle drove off and was involved in a failed-to-stop accident. We were extremely fortunate there was no loss of life. He said the incident is being treated as an Islamophobic hate crime. In a statement posted on social media, the Husseini Association, which organised the lecture, said people in the red Nissan Juke were heard shouting anti-Islamic taunts before the car swerved into innocent bystanders, hitting at least 5 people. It added, fortunately, a number of volunteers stood behind the vehicle, between the vehicle and patrons heading home. These acts of bravery potentially saved the lives of dozens of innocent people. Detectives are analysing CCTV in a bid to trace a driver. No arrests have been made. Wow. And I think, oh, here we go. A severe blaze gutted a much-loved Art Deco cinema in Birmingham yesterday. A group campaigning for the renovation of Harborne's Royalty Cinema said they hoped it could still be saved. Like, that's really sad. And a train was delayed. This is great. A train was delayed when the driver got locked in the onboard toilet. Southeastern apologised on Twitter with a gif from The Simpsons after the Bromley South to Victoria train ran 5 minutes late yesterday. Wow. We've got stuff about Ali's deadly blow. So that's the Storm Ali stuff from today. Obviously Storm Brenner today. We've got tributes to Dennis Norden, who we spoke about yesterday as well, age 96. Paul O'Grady confronts the yob who insulted husband. Paul O'Grady said he stood up to a typical English yob who taunted his husband on a flight. The TV presenter 63 said Andrea Portazzo was called a effing queer by a man next to him on a Bangkok to London flight at the weekend. The Blind Date host also claimed the man made a lewd invitation to his 38-year-old husband, a former English national ballet star. Oh, Mr. O'Grady. Oh, he's spoiling us. O'Grady said, I stood up and said, you're lucky we're not in the street, mate, because you'd be eating your dinner through a straw. Wow. Now, we've also got an update to that story from yesterday. Virginity test father wanted to rule out rape. A father who took his teenage daughter for a virginity test claimed he wanted to check whether she had been raped, a court heard. Iranian-born Ali Safarai, 56, discovered in May this year his daughter Sophia had a boyfriend who had been in the family home in Clapham, southwest London, Kingston Crown Court was told. Safarai, who broke down in tears in court, and his wife Mitra Aidiani, 42, denied trying to control Sophia and threatening to kill her boyfriend. Bailey Marshall Tefler, 18. The trial continues. Wow. And this story's so sad. Like, this one as well. Like, Metro Moments is getting, like, you got yesterday with the what? And today with the... Dairy allergy boy was chased with cheese, then died. A boy with a severe dairy allergy died after he was chased with cheese and had it thrown down his t-shirt at his school, a pre-inquest hearing was told. Kranbir Hema, 13, went into anaphylactic shock and died more than a week later in hospital. Another boy, also 13 at the time, was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder, but has not been charged. He is no longer a pupil at William Perkins C of E High School in Greenford, West London, where the incident happened in June last year. Karanbir, known as Karan, was allergic to wheat, gluten, all dairy products, eggs, and nuts. He was also asthmatic and suffered from atopic eczema. I mean, this kid, life had dealt him a bad hand to begin with. I mean, you can't eat pizza. You can't eat... I mean, Jesus. Sorry. Jesus. Kieran Opat, one of the first paramedics on the scene, said the emergency call had been logged on an allergic reaction, but he soon realised it was more serious. I immediately knew it was life-threatening, that the patient had a high risk of going to cardiac and respiratory arrest, he'd said. We were told by school staff that perhaps someone had chased the patient with cheese and proceeded to throw it down his t-shirt. When we arrived, we saw Karan lying on his back on the floor with teachers around him. Staff had administered 2 spoons of Piriton and EpiPen and given him an inhaler. Because Jesus Christ, yeah, that could be anything, and they just got to, like, give him all the things. The boy was very hot and was having difficulty breathing. Mr. Opat told St. Pancras Coroner's Court ahead of the inquest, which he cannot attend. He told how he called for backup and then started performing CPR on Karan, who had stopped breathing. The boy died 10 years later in Great Ormond Street Hospital. Karan's 2 brothers and sister were yesterday in court with their mother, Rena Hema, 52. The accountant said after the hearing, "We want answers. I am devastated. He was a very bright young boy. He could have been anything he wanted to." The full inquest is due to take place in November. Like, that's just a really sad story. We've got a story about 10% will be smokers by 2023. Well, I'll be alive and kicking. And what else we got? Jackson's, it's the next generation. Jackson's little child. Next child could be the start of the next Jackson dynasty. JJ Gush said it blew my mind when she first saw her boy Alyssa play a melody on the piano at the age of 2. You know, most kids would bang on it. It's really interesting because he'll play a melody, said the 52-year-old. He'll play something and he'll go to another note, 2 notes, and he'll go back to the first note, 2 notes. There's a rhythm to it. It honestly blew my mind. Describing how her son might follow in the footsteps of his mum, the Jackson 5 and his late uncle Michael, she added, he loves piano, he loves drums, he loves music. Janet insists being a musician will be Issa's the decision. She told Heart Radio, only if he wants to be, but it's not an easy life. And I think that from Metro moments for this day, I mean, I'm just trying to find, this is a good one. More than 6,000 fans of Prince have signed a petition demanding a grand jury investigation into the rock star's death. The Purple Rain singer 57 overdosed on drugs in his US home in 2016. Police have not yet traced the source of the drugs. A court ruling that bans Muslim men divorcing their wives by saying talaq or divorce 3 times has been backed by India's parliament as it violates women's rights. MPs now have another 6 months to pass the ban into law. That's amazing. That's amazing. A cross-dressing bank robber wearing bright red lipstick and a hijab is being hunted by police in Austria. The suspect has struck at banks in Linz and Vienna wearing the same outfit. A £1,700 reward. That's nothing. A £1,700 reward is being offered for his arrest. Wow. Ex-Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, his daughter and son-in-law have been released on bail by Islamabad High Court, pending their appeal hearings against corruption convictions. They are serving 10, 7 and 1 year jails terms respectively. And a woman who claims she was sexually assaulted as a teenager by Donald Trump's US Supreme Court nominee wants the FBI to investigate. Another one, Amazon turning into a new water world. And I think the last... here we go. This is the last story from Metro today. And this is Jack's. So Tesco jacks up discounts to challenge the Germans. Tesco has launched a new discount store format called Jack's to take on German rivals Aldi and Lidl. The supermarket giant plans to open 10 to 15 branches within a year, investing at least £20 million and creating up to 250 new jobs. Boss Dave Lewis said the prices will be the cheapest in town at each location. This is amazing. We leverage the size and expertise that's available to Tesco and Tesco partners, and we bring that capability to Jack's in an operating model that is lower, and we pass the benefit on to our customers. They're just going to make an Aldi's. The first 2 stores open today in Chatteris, Cambridgeshire, and Immingham, Lincolnshire, at mothballed Tesco sites. It's great, smart, they're using their old sites. At least 5 Jack stores will be converted Tesco locations. The brand is widely hailed as a challenger to discounters Aldi and Lidl, which have eaten into the market share of Britain's big 4 supermarket Tesco's, big 1 supermarkets, Tesco, Asda, Sainsbury's and Morrison's. Like the German duo, Jack stores will have lower operating costs than Tesco. They will carry 2,600 product lines compared with tens of thousands in Tesco stores. Of these, 1,800 will be Jack's own brand. 8 in 10 products are grown, reared or made in the UK, Tesco said. Matt Jeffers of Accenture Strategy said, we should expect to see more of the established players revisiting their store models, exploring mergers and acquisitions and building partnerships with competitors to head off intense competition and fight for customers. The launch is part of the supermarket centenary celebrations. Jack Cohen founded Tesco in 1919. And then you've got the fruit aisle, inside the Jack store that is operating today in Chatteris. So that's the fruit aisle. So as you can see, it's just a very basic fruit aisle. It's just Aldi. Now, you've got how they compare. Jack's skimmed milk, 4 pints of skimmed milk is £1.09. Aldi also £1.09. Jack's cornflakes 55p. Aldi's own brand 72p. Jack's spaghetti 45p. Aldi's own brand 39p. 80 tea bags from Jack's 85p. Aldi £1.09. British medium white sliced bread, so bread 45p at Jack's, 49p at Aldi. Coca-Cola, Jack's version of Coca-Cola, £3.50, £3.60. And I think that's just for Coke actually, yeah. So for normal Coca-Cola, that's £3.50 for, unless that's Jack's version. No, that would be actually Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, £3.50 or £3.60 at Aldi for Coca-Cola Classic. Jack's baked beans 94p. Four packs of that Aldi for 98p. And Jack's bananas, loose bananas, 13p each, same at the Aldi's. That's enough of Metro Roads today. And as we're going into an hour long now, we're going past the hour mark, let's give you one more shill. So if you go to fowloriginal.com, you can help the show which has some of the lowest operating costs in the whole of the internet. You can go to support the channel, and if you go to support the channel, you can become a Patreon. You can go to streamlabs.com/fowloriginalwrestling, or you can just click the donate button, which is the easiest thing to do. And I'm not a problem. Well, there you go. Look, I've been clicking PayPal too much. That's how you know it's PayPal. And go through the PayPal, and you can pop in $5. Make this a monthly donation if you'd like to, and support me on a monthly basis, which would be amazing. And I will make sure I get some tiered rewards for you guys. I will make sure that you get something for your money. And you can also, if you make it one-off, you can write a note and say, "I'm Fowl. Shout me out." And I'll be like, "Yeah, mate. Whatever's in it. That's cool, dude." Or dudette, or lady. Or man. But you can log in via that, or you can donate PayPal anyway. It's PayPal. Whoosh. So, as we do on every show, let's go back to actually the main story of the day. It happened almost an hour ago. Kiss announced final tour in 2018. And I wanted to leave you with a TV show, as usual. I started off with Kiss on Mad TV. So, let's finish with... Well, let's finish with this. So, as I would love to, and I haven't seen this for ages, so I figured it would be quite nice. So this is, yeah, a TV show that some of you may or may not remember. Oh, it's done that thing again, where it's messing with the audio, audio. But yeah, this is why yesterday we couldn't hear anything. So, first of all, let's see if I can get this working.
Hey, I just created a Wix website for my business.
Yep.
Let me show you how I did it.
Oh, that works. That's fine then. So, let's just whack this over. And now, this is a TV show that some of you, as I said, may or may not remember. But you know what? Screw it. Because this is Fowl Originals Newsround. Let's get it on!
And when one man and one unique car waged a war on crime. Now 5 fearless agents and 5 supercharged vehicles are taking it to the next level. With 5 times the
It's
excitement.
an amazing show. Saturday's
the attitude.
Take it to him. Great show. Love Team Night. If you want to help support the channel, you can like, share, subscribe.
Get ready to ride. Team Night Rider coming in October. Check local listings for time and channel.
Bye.